Thank you for joining today. So we are back with Last Epoch, and when we live streamed it last, we kind of just jumped into it, made a mage, had some fun with it. So now we're going to take this a little bit more serious. So like Path of Exile, this has a lot more depth to it when it comes to skills, passives, and building your character as a whole through leveling into endgame. It's not as simple as Diablo 4, but it is a very simple styled game like Diablo 4, where it is a hack and slash dungeon crawler. However, you have many more add-ins and buffs and things that work together to give you those advantages. So today we built a rogue. Not gonna lie, I'm not 100% on board with the character creation process. I think that later on you might be able to change cosmetics, but at the start you choose your class, rogue, and this is what your character looks like. No big deal. So what I have done is done a little bit of research and gone to maxroll.gg. They have updates that started on the release on the 25th of 2024, February I should say, because that's when the full release happened. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to build a Bladedancer Rogue, leveled up, and then gear towards endgame near the end of it all. So let's start building this character up. We'll get some levels, see how it goes, and we can work this Bladedancer Rogue together and enjoy the journey.
I've never been this far from the slums.
So,
No looking back
as you
now.
can see, we're starting off.
Time to leave Majelka behind.
I have no idea how this is gonna go. I have yet to use a rogue in any capacity. Oh, okay, there we go. So this is flurry, so that makes sense. So we're gonna do some flurrying, we're gonna get our levels up, and I'm gonna show you the guide that I'm using. So right now I'm just spamming my left click, or my right click, sorry, for just attack. And I only have one other attack right now in flurry. And as you can see, it's a slightly different setup. Q, W, E, R. That is your abilities. So we've got first attack, throwing attack. Did notice on some of the abilities in my mage, when you're forging, and we'll get into that later, that you add damage specifically to throwing weapons. So very interesting to see those actually come up now, because with the mage there was no throwing weapons, just pure casting. So level 2 unlock shurikens. Let's carry on. Testing out the shurikens. They seem to be working pretty good. Got a good range on them. So you gotta watch that QWER for your, oh crap. So 1, that is 4 your health potions. So you also gotta be careful that you stay on Q and don't spam 1, because you'll end up burning through all of your health potions. Not that I did that or anything on my mage once or twice. Just made it through. We're still in the divine era. Again, you travel through different time zones, as in, you know, actual eras, not Eastern time zone or Western time zone. And now we are going forward to the burning forest, and we're trying to fight through the Ospric's forces to get to the Keeper's camp. So this is just your initializing quest. And we've got the shurikens, which again, I'm very impressed with how they work. But as you can see too, you move through these levels pretty quick. It doesn't take a long time, that's for sure. So again, we're just rocking some shurikens here, because you can level up skills individually beyond your passives. You can specialize in each skill. Now we are getting into the passive system. So as you can see here, passive system information. Gaining passive node points. Gain passive points by leveling up and completing quests. So you can get extra points just by completing quests. So it's kind of also like Diablo 4. Mastery classes. Initially, you may only place points in your base class tree. So right now we have Rogue, and then you can see over, you have Bladedancer, Falconer, and Marksman. So there's clearly other classes as well, but we're going to mastery in Bladedancer for our purposes going forward. Once you choose a mastery class, you will gain access to the left section of each mastery and the right section of your chosen mastery. You may only select one mastery per character, so you can spec into all of them to a certain point, but to unlock the whole mastery and all of the skills, you only get that in the one you choose, and you cannot go back and change that. So 4 goes into Swift Assassin. So we'll start with our first one in Swift Assassin. Too easy. And then eventually we'll specialize into... So here's the system integration. This is the skill system. This is where I was talking about you could specifically tap into each skill. So click on a skill, click on the action bar to access the new skill. So that's the ones you see here, right? You can specialize in up to 5 skills by clicking an unlock specialization slot located above, which unlock as you level up. Specializing in a skill will allow you to gain skill points for that skill by earning experience, which you can use to empower and augment it. Similar to Diablo 4, which Diablo 4 might be similar to Last Epoch because the beta for this came out, early access I should say, in like 2018, 2019. So I keep referring to like Diablo 4, but Diablo 4 might be more like this. Let's be honest here. So here's a shrine. Now this is going to give us 100% critical strike chance. So who's not going to want that blessing? Let's go. Hey, level 4. Here's skill specialization. So let's go check it out. First one we're going to want to do is Flurry. And we also got Acid Flask here, so that's cool. So let's go up, Flurry. We get 1 point in Flurry. So we're going to go in Flurry and put our points in Deep Strikes. So according to the leveling guide on maxroll.gg, this is the best way to go. So we're going to follow this guide along the whole way and see how it treats us. So you're going to see these pages sitting around here, depending on what area you are. They're essentially just clues, little notes that are going to help you along in your journey. I recommend clicking on them all and reading everything, because what is the game without immersing yourself completely in it? And then who knows, you might miss some information that's going to send you on a bad path later, or running around in circles like I may or may not have done with my mage before. Bonus, they have a map overlay that you can use just by using tab. Brings it in and out just like that. So if you like the overlay map, personally it's really good in dungeons, because the dungeons in this you can get a little lost with the method they use for the fog of war. So if you find gear on another character that's good for an alt, you can put it in your stash and have access to it, because I've got 14,000 gold and all of my crafting materials. Everything I had from my mage is here. So it's not like the games where you start an alt and you lose everything. Like literally I've lost nothing. I just started a new character and I kept my resources, and I have to say that is pretty cool. Taking this rogue through the leveling phase as a blade dancer, I believe is, oh, and you get to zoom in quite a bit, I forgot about that. But if we are, yes, blade dancer. So we're going to be leveling up this Bladedancer Rogue, so please come back and enjoy the rest of the journey with me, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a great rest of your day.